Hello humans, Master Dinnerflax here, bringing you low quality content you deserve, and today a lot of people have been asking for an update for my Lair Darkness stack, and gonna be totally honest, I probably haven't played I haven't had a single duel in like over 2 months, and I took a break before this ban list, so what I have here is theory before that ban list, just with updates to the ban list. So there's a lot of things that I feel like this deck doesn't understand the current meta because I don't understand the current meta. But I went with a very surface level analysis of what I think the format would be like and built the deck to be that way. But this also has a lot of last format theory in it, which I was testing before I took my break. And just so you know, I'm still on my break, so if there is a video, it will be pretty slow to get to you guys. But I will try to post because I actually do really enjoy posting videos. But yeah, I guess let's get into it. So we got Triple Lilith, the best card in the deck, 1 Malice, You guys know this already. It makes the traps infinite, and it's another Lilith. And speaking of new Liliths, we got 3 tour guides. This card is actually just so good. So a lot of people, when they play this deck, they're like, "Oh, you got to get to Lair. You got to get to Lair. If you don't see Lair, you lose." The issue I've never had an issue where I don't see Lair, I lose, because you can play more copies of Lair than people think. You can play 3 Lair, Terraforming, Metaverse, 3 Arima, and then 3 Demise of the Land. And then there's like set rotations and pop-ups. Like, you can get to Lair if you want Lair of Darkness. The issue is you need a quick effect Tributor with Lair, otherwise it's a nothing card. But with 3 Tour Guide and 3 Lilith and a Malice, and 3 Ties of Brethren, of course, you now have more ways to get to Lilith, which is the actual harder part to get. So, yeah, that's very important. I'm just very glad that she's back at 3, and man, has it been a long time. Like over 5 years since we could play 3 Tour Guide, and I'm very happy that we can play 3 Tour Guide again. Then 1 Sangan to search the hand traps, 3 Arima, 1 of the Dragon, and then 3 hand traps, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Ash. Last format, again, like I said, last format theory, Ash Blossom was just terrible. The only reason I had 1 is for very specific scenarios, and I was also scared of 3 Tactical Talents since this deck uses all their effects on their opponent's turn, so I was like, having an Ash for that might have been helpful. But that's about it. So Effect Veiler is kind of more useful to search with Sangan, like almost all the time. Then Lair of Darkness, Necro Valley, just because I have so many field searchers that having 3 field and like 20 searchers didn't feel right. This could be Mystic Mind, but I'm not a degenerate idiot, so I wanted to play Necro Valley instead, because you can turn off the field spell with this, but like if you had set rotation and Mystic Mind, it means you have to out your own mind that you gave them, and that was stupid. So I didn't even want to bother with set rotation or Mystic Mind, because they're too annoying to... They also promote not playing, which you might think, oh, well, you're in the winning spot because you have it, but you're actually not. The thing about Mystic Mind is, if you're not winning with it, then there's no point in having it, because your opponent's just going to eventually get an out and you lose anyway. So you shouldn't deck build for delaying the inevitable. You should be deck building to try to either beat your opponent or just keep them from playing. Not to keep both players from playing, but just to punish your opponent, not both players. 2 Demise the Land, it's just a shitty metaverse. Terraforming, Pot of Extravi Wavy, Ties of the Brethren, and then this bane of my existence. This feather is invading my safe space, which is Lair of Darkness. I'm really scared of this card. So because I'm scared of this card, I also want to have it just because if they're playing a back row deck and they're like, haha, your Lair Darkness deck loses a Feather Duster, I'm going to do the same thing to them and then they lose a Feather Duster as well. And also, even if you like lose a bunch of your back row to it, you can replace your back row because you have Liliths and stuff. So it's like you can play through it, but if they like have a nuts hand with Feather Duster, it's kind of unwinnable. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. This needs to come back, but I wish they banned Reboot in its place. Okay, so this, for a very long time, I was playing Reckless Greed in the deck. And the reason that was this deck doesn't really gain advantage very well, and Reckless Greed was one of the things that you could infinitely loop to just gain cards. Now, the issue with Reckless Greed is it wasn't actually a trap card. It didn't do anything to your opponent. So you had to already be kind of winning, or like your opponent has to be like really slow rolled for the Reckless Greed to be good. But this does the same thing as Reckless Greed, but is an actual trap card. So it's a 1-for-1 to your opponent's monster, but then it dumps Elder Entity, and because of that, you're actually taking away 2 cards from them, so you get a plus out of it. And because you're infinitely looping it, it kind of has the same effect as Reckless Greed, but you're also preventing your opponent from just killing you. And the whole extra deck restriction, it doesn't matter, because this extra deck is literally just an emotional support extra deck. It's there because it's there. Like, you are required to play it for Pot of Extravagance, and once every Mayan calendar cycle, you'll go into it. And then that's it. So, like, the extra deck restriction doesn't matter. But getting a +1 every turn, disrupting your opponent, and looping this is just insane. I actually originally thought I was going to play the little church girl to go with her, with, like, the Dragon Bastard in the extra deck. But when I was testing that, it was so pointless that I just, like, didn't even bother. So there's, like, a whole 3 Dragma Punishment, and then, like, none of the other cards, just because they didn't matter. They didn't do anything for this deck. They were just kind of like their own separate engine that didn't synergize with anything. So I just cut all of it except the trap, and it was, like, perfect. Impermanence, more hand traps, compulse. I don't even know if there's another good trap card that this could be. This could probably be like 3 more hand traps and it'd be fine. But again, I don't really know the format, and if I don't know the format, I feel like having a trap is better because it's more like useful for Lilith. But if like you don't like this, I'd like replace it for something else. It's just there because I don't know what else could be there. Maybe like switch these for these. Maybe, I don't know. Metaverse, really important, and then skill drain. Because this is prime glue sniffing hours, and we need to take advantage of the lack of skill. So that's why this is in here. And it's also just like, you tribute their stuff, and then that's it. Like, oh, your Lilith is now 2,000 and tributes their stuff. Oh, they can't play. Nice. This is good. Love it. Side deck, whatever you want. The only thing I would suggest is like having an answer to the 3 Lightning Storm and Feather Duster, because that's a bit obnoxious for you to deal with. And Dark Sacrifice is a good one. Waking the Dragons is a good one with like Last Warrior. There's a bunch of good options to deal with all the destruction, so keep that in mind. And yeah, that's basically it. It's just whatever you want besides that. And then the extra deck, 3 of this, 1 of this to recycle it if you're going in like a really grind game and you've used Extravagance before. So yeah, Break Swords, they're there for emotional support. Beat Cop, you'll go into once every blue moon when it's a really grindy game and you like just need a tributor, but you don't have a like natural tributor. You could just turn 2 of your dark monsters into it. Nightmare Phoenix, he's there for emotional support. Super Poly's in the side deck for me personally, but if you don't have this, you could throw in Ojama Knight, Big Koala, Purple Koala, whatever his name is. No, he's green. So the Green Koala, You can throw in Steam Gyroid, Lunalight Panther Dancer. That's a good card. You could throw in Infernity Doom Dragon. He's got a cool effect. You can't summon him, but it doesn't matter because this is an emotional support action deck. Nothing, like 90% of it is useless, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, I'm not going to test it for a while, but I will say that if I don't really know the meta too well, or this meta too well, so I want to say, like, there's a lot of flex spots in here. Like, the hand traps can be whatever is best for the format. The compulses could be anything else. The demise of the lands could be anything else. Skill drain, usually I side it, but I was just like, why am I siding this? I'm siding it in all the time. Like, there's plenty of things you can change around from this deck. The only thing I would say stick to the game plan with this is, like, max out on these cards as much as you think is fit. Like, you want to have a high number of these because a lot of the times people assume, oh, I need to see Lair or I lose. It's easy to see Lair. It's not easy to see the Fiends. So you really, really want to try to get to the Fiends. And what's really cool about Tour Guide is if you have it and ties, Tour Guide's like the easiest Ash bait or Effect Veiler Impermanence bait ever created. So, like, it gets stopped, but if you have ties, it literally does nothing. It literally doesn't impact your plays at all. So, that's pretty cool. But, yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And remember, Master Dinnerflax will take your soul.